Today, we'll be looking at some scary facts about skinwalkers, stuff that maybe you never even knew. Now, I've said this before, but skinwalkers have their origin in Navajo culture. A skinwalker is said to be a witch or demon that can turn into, possess, or disguise themselves as an animal. They have been known to show themselves as coyotes, wolves, foxes, crows, or owls. A skinwalker is usually seen or described as being naked except for wearing a coyote or wolf skin on them. Some people describe them as a mutated version of those animals. So the skin may just be a mask. And that brings us to our first point, their ability to transform. So it's said that skinwalkers sometimes turn into animals so that they could get around faster. Skinwalkers are said to be really fast and they can run really long distances. Some say over 200 miles in just one evening. They may also transform into these animals to wreak havoc on others, like tricking humans and then killing them. Like I mentioned, a skinwalker typically wears the pelt of the animal that they are going to transform into. Now, because of these skins or pelts being associated with skinwalkers, in Navajo culture, wild animal hides are taboo, and they're rarely ever seen. One Navajo writer said, and I quote, "At night, their eyes glow red like hot coals. It is said that if you see the face of them, they have to kill you. If you see one and know who it is, they will die. If you see them and you don't know them, they have to kill you to keep you from finding out who they are." Moving on to our next point, we have the death. So, how do they kill you? Well, there's multiple different ways. One way is that they use a mixture that some call corpse powder. They then will use this powder and blow it onto your face. Corpse powder is very deadly. Once it's blown onto your face, your tongue will turn black and you go into convulsions until you die. So it's pretty scary, not gonna lie. Moving on, at number 8, we have stealing a person's face. So some people believe that skinwalkers have the ability to steal someone's face. As in, they can transform into someone that you know in order to trick you. They might look like someone you know, but something will be slightly off about them. They do this to gain your trust, and then of course you let your guard down so they can easily kill you. Now, let's say that you're out and about and you lock eyes with a skinwalker. Well, it's said that they can absorb themselves into your body, or that your body will freeze with fear, which will allow them to channel that fear to gain power and energy, so they feed off of their victims. Once they absorb themselves into your body, they then can take control of your actions, and you're pretty much just like their puppet. Moving on, we have mimicking the sound of your voice. So yes, skinwalkers can mimic the sound of anyone's voice. So now I'm gonna play a couple of videos what people believe are skinwalkers caught on camera. Skinwalkers have been known to sound like humans to, again, trick you. So you think someone's out there in a dark forest screaming for help, you rush out to save them only to be attacked and killed by them. Not only that, but some believe that skinwalkers can mimic the sound of their last victims. So the cries for help are what was said from the last victim before they killed them. That's pretty creepy. And now here's a video of what some people believe to be a skinwalker disguising itself as a crow.
Come on. Come on. Come on. Good boy.
A skinwalker may use the voice of a relative or the cry of an infant to lure victims out of the safety of their home. Now, the cry of the baby has been used a lot, not even by skinwalkers, but by criminals too. So you're inside the house and you hear a baby crying and you think that, you know, a kid is out there and needs your help, but meanwhile, it's literally just a ploy to get you outside, and you know what happens next. Here's another fact. Humans and animals can both tell when someone is a skinwalker. Remember when I said that if they turn into a human, there's gonna be something off about them. Like they might physically look different, or they walk different, or they sound different, and you know, like, no, that's not my friend. You know what I'm saying? A skinwalker is unable to move completely naturally in animal form. For some unexplainable reason, even a well-seasoned skinwalker cannot obtain the perfect animal gait or even leave the correct footprint sizing on the ground or animal track on the ground. So yes, they can shapeshift into these creatures, but like they're not 100% identical to the person that they're shapeshifting into or the animal. How do you defeat a skinwalker? Oh, listen up. So a skinwalker can only be defeated if you discover their human identity, so their true form. This is possible if the skinwalker is, tracked back to their home. Or in some stories, if a skinwalker is wounded and the same injury is then noted by a person. So let's say the skinwalker hurts their arm and then, you see someone with a hurt arm. You're like, bro, was that you? Bam. Now, in Navajo culture, it's said that once you know the person behind like the skinwalker, you have to pronounce their full name. You have to say like blank, blank, you are a skinwalker. So I don't know, Bob the Builder, you are a skinwalker. Bam. They're dead. But not exactly. About 3 days later, the skinwalker will become sick and then die for the wrongs that they have committed. But if you just try to kill a skinwalker not by using any of the other methods, like maybe you try like stabbing or shooting them, it's virtually impossible. They will not die. There have apparently been some attempts to shoot or kill skinwalkers, but none have ever been successful. Now, it's said that there are ways that you can protect yourself from skinwalkers or even like banish them from your land. So a traditional faith healer can perform ceremonies to protect you from one. Or if you're going out at night, you have to cover your body with corn pollen, cedar ash, or juniper berries. Or you need a powerful shaman that knows the right spells or incantations to get the skinwalker to turn on itself. I want to share this really creepy story that is very common in Navajo culture. Like they pass it down from generation to generation. So it was a woman who was delivering newspapers early in the morning. And she claims that as she was delivering her newspapers, she heard scratching on the passenger side of her vehicle. And she also had her baby in the car seat next to her. Then all of a sudden the door flung open and she saw this crazy creature. She described it as being half man, half beast. It also had glowing red eyes and a gnarly arm that was reaching for her child. Now, she did manage to fight it off, and she pulled the door closed, and then she sped off. But this creature chased her. The creature ran alongside her car and stayed with her until she went to an all-night convenience store and ran inside. Now, when she ran inside, she was screaming and crying for help, so the employee went outside to be like, yo, what's out there? And the thing had vanished. We have the mind control powers. Oh. So skinwalkers can read people's minds, but also they can control animals of the night, like owls, And another little fun fact is that they must continue to kill or else they'll die. So you can always tell if you're in the presence of a skinwalker by their eyes. If you shine a light on one when they're in form of an animal, the eyes will be glowing bright red. If you shine the light on one when they're in the form of a human, their eyes will look animal-like. So skinwalkers were blamed for everything that went wrong in Navajo culture. So if there was crop failures or bad marriages or sicknesses or sudden deaths, then you would think that you were in the presence of a skinwalker that was cursing you. Now, the last little scary fun fact about skinwalkers is how someone becomes one. It is said that a man or a woman becomes a skinwalker by committing a serious crime, like killing a family member. This gives them supernatural powers and allows them to shapeshift from a human to an animal. They basically can choose what animal that they want to transform into and at what time. So they voluntarily assume the role of the animal. It's not like they're just cursed and they're like, oh my god, now I'm a werewolf for the rest of my life, if that makes sense. Alright guys, that's all for today's video. I hope you found this video entertaining. It seems like a lot of people are curious about skinwalkers, so I hope I could shed light on that. And yeah, let me know what you think in the comments below. Have you ever had a scary encounter with one, or do you believe in them? Let me know in the comments below. With that being said, I've been your host, Lindsay Ivan. Stick around for some bloopers if I have any, and I'll see ya when I see ya. Bye. Okay, so skin readers.